Thing. Yes, you know, some of what we're saying. Right? Okay, so hi, hello everyone. Good evening, good night, good afternoon, whatever you are, all over the world. Good morning, that's it, right?
Yes,
that could be good morning. Yes, on Zambia it's 8 o'clock. I mean, it's still night for him, right? Come on, it's in the middle of the night, right? So thanks, Trevor. I see Trevor online, Bank, whoever, you know. If you can hear us fine, if you can see us fine, just say hello on the chat. So we know that you can that the sound is good for you, right? I see Eduardo, and who else I see? Well, just a few people said hello so far. And let me see if I can. Yeah, all right. So thanks everyone for joining us here. I know it was like a short, announced shortly, but you know I'm traveling around the U.S. and in every city. We don't really know exactly if the person's going to have you know the opportunity to meet with me, if any. So we have to go as we can, right? So let's see if someone else said hello. I see Manik saying hello, Manuel saying hello. So let me ask one thing, right? So we are here. I'll introduce Yolanda in a minute, right? So don't worry.
I'm just here.
Right? Yeah. But we are here in San Jose, California. And you know, here's the headquarters of Oracle. That's where Java is being developed. And you know, we are actually right here, surrounded by you know, amazing tech companies like Apple and Google and you know, all the big guys. We're all around here. You know, this morning. We went to a computer store to buy some stuff that I needed, and we passed by, you know, all kinds of PayPal and all kinds of cool companies around here. So we're gonna talk about all those things in a minute. But where are you right now, right? So I see Manik. Well, I thought Manik is going to say he's from Holland, but he's Yolanda, right? So I got it wrong, Manik. So, you know, so where are you from? Type on the chat. The reason why I ask you to type things on the chat and talk with us here is that, you know, we are going to be here to answer your question, to talk with you, right? So, you know, if you haven't found the chat yet, go to the chat and say where you're from. So you know where the chat is, we can have a great conversation. So Manik is in Delaware, here in the United States. Thanks, Manik. Very good. So Manuel is saying that's good sound and good video. So excellent, right? So you know, you guys keep telling me where you're from, and we're gonna have a wonderful conversation. So first things first, thank you very much for on a Sunday for being here with us, right? We're gonna work hard to make this next hour very, very worthwhile for you. Right. And, you know, we're going to do this about an hour. And one thing that I want you to stay to the end, right, is that I was talking with Yolanda last night, and, you know, both of us, we prepared some great gifts for you. So if you stay here to the end, you're going to get a gift that might be a life-changing gift, right? If you miss that, that's on you. Okay. So if you stay to the end, Yolanda and me, we're both going to give you a lifetime gift that it can completely change your life in a way that you don't understand so far, right? So I see Bank is from Lagos, Nigeria. That's wonderful. Gabriel, hello, Gabriel. He's from São Paulo, Brazil. I see Marcio. He's also from Brazil. That's amazing, right? Good, very good to see all of you guys. Yes, Lagos, Nigeria. I said Bank is from there. So Trevor is from Zambia. You know, so thank everyone for being there. For being here with us. Okay, so without further ado, I'm here in San Jose in the house of this amazing person, right? And, you know, behind us here, you can see very well in the video, but behind us here have all this great artwork that Yolanda works on, right? So she hand paints, and, you know, she has all kinds of artist things, and she hand paints, she copies, you know, famous art by hand. It's like, you know, so, but she's not only an artist, she is at Java on Twitter, right? So Yolanda works for Oracle. She's a community manager for Oracle. She managed the at Java Twitter accounts, but not only that, she's a person helping out Java champions and Java user groups. And, you know, she works with all kinds of communities. She works with women. She works with, you know, students. She works with developers all over the world. She manages not only Java communities, but she also works with JavaScript communities.
That's new.
That's new, right? That's new. But, you know, the cloud communities are around Oracle, and she works with authors and speakers all over the world. And on top of all of that, she also travels around the world presenting on how you can actually become become a better developer, and how you can use all of this community effort to increase your career. So with you guys, Yolande Poirier.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know what to add, really. You said it all, so.
Okay.
And more, so thank you. Welcome to San Jose.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here in your house, right? It's been very nice. Yolande receiving me here in her house to do this conversation here that we're having right now. And I think there's a lot of cool things we're going to talk about here today, right? So I see also Eduardo's here, says Porto Alegre, Brazil. So it's very cool. We have people from different places in the world. Excellent, right? And again, watch for the gifts, right? You're going to you're going to be amazing, right? Because the thing that I got Yolande to do, I have not been able to get her to do that for anyone, but she's going to do for you. Seriously, right? And okay. So let's get started here. So, and anytime you guys can ask questions, you know where the chat is now, so you can ask questions. We want to be very, very working to help you out, right? So, Yolande, let me get started with this. You've been talking about one of the things that you do a lot is you talk about how to participate in Twitter and how to participate in communities. So I know you have some discussion that you want to particularly have, but I just want you to answer just one first question.
Mm-hmm.
What is why it's important for all of us to be part of communities? Why it's important for all of us to actually put our name out there on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn? Why should we be why can't we just be at home doing code and that's enough? Isn't it?
Right. Yeah, I wish it was enough, right? Because that's already a lot of work, and all of you are working, very hard just to code and do your job. But the reality is, like, if you want to do anything else, right? If you want to start your own business, or if you want to move in your career, then you need to have a network, and you need to have also a good brand that people understand and can relate to. And that will help you to move faster in your career. And a lot of things that I've, so since I manage the @Twitter handle, so I've used Twitter really so I've almost like reverse engineered Twitter to make it work better and to increase my my community, the Java community, and give really like a sense of cohesion in the community and awareness, right? So I'll talk a lot about that. But the one thing I wanted to tell you is that with Twitter, it's actually fairly easy. Mm-hmm. So I think this is also what we're going to talk about here, is that how can you, with the minimum amount of work and time that you have, make a big impact with Twitter. And I think this is really possible.
Excellent. And so one of the things that we're going to do here today, right? I know we are all developers here, but we're looking for, that's the objective here we're going to do today, is that we're trying to see who are the people that want to do freelancing, and who are the people that want to do, want to launch their own companies, is wanting to do what is already doing a startup. So let me ask you right now, are you in one of these situations? Do you want to do freelance? Do you want to do it could be freelance for having some extra amount of money, right? Just kind of do some work at night for a different country, for example. I know a lot of people from Brazil always wanted to work, remotely for different countries. Also you might want to be launching your own company, or you want to be to launch. You have an idea, have a great idea. You want to launch an idea. So tell me on the chat right now, what is the biggest thing that you're dealing with right now with those challenges, right? With doing freelance work, or launching your company. What is the biggest challenge that you're going through right now? Because Yolande, the whole thing that we are discussing here, right? And you mentioned brand, and I think that brand is very important for people that have in this situation, right? They want to create a company, they want to launch a product, they want to do from freelancing. But even if you're not doing any of those things, right? Is brand important at all?
Yes, brand. So brand is something that that you have already. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do, however you show up at a meeting, or whatever, everything that, everybody who knows you has an opinion, and that's your brand. So you can be a little bit in control of it, and also very important, I think, when we say brands, a lot of people feel like, oh my God, I need to become somebody else, right? It's not going to be the true me. And actually, it's not difficult to personalize your brand and be just better at what you do and shine, right? And know what your value is, and how you can, and how people can relate to you better. Because if you're authentic and you yourself and you know how to express that, I mean, it's tremendously powerful for you and for other people, because other people will understand also what you stand for. Right?
Okay. So you know,
even like, for example, if you're on a team, right? You are being hired to work on a team. Well, people want to know what is your style,
right?
I mean, can you integrate in the culture where I'm going to bring you in, right? So, I mean, there are so many situations where people need to just like really be able to relate to you.
Right.
And when they can do that, then tons of doors are open for you.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So you know, so let's get, you know, you're talking about the brand is what you already do, right? And but at the same time, you know, in terms of career, right? What is the first step that people can do? You know, if brand is what I already do, maybe it's something I'm already doing. That's my first step. What is the first step for someone to be, you know, you're saying that brand is important for people to be known and for people to relate to you and for you to open up more opportunities. So what is the first step that people need to do? It's not create their brand, right? What is it?
Right. So we talked about that yesterday quite a bit, is really having a focus.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes.
So yes, it's really knowing, be clear about, I mean, what you want to talk about on Twitter, right? I mean, if I'm going to follow you, I know a little bit. So if you tell me, well, I'm a father, I'm like, well, am I interested in people who are fathers? Not particularly, right?
Yeah, well, maybe you are, but not as a developer, probably, right? Yes.
So if you tell me, well, I'm developing web applications, I'm using XYZ technology, or already this is more specific, right?
Right.
So even like and so that way people will follow you based on something that you know about, and then they expect you to talk about much more.
Right.
So do you want to talk more about the focus? Because
okay, well, you know, so I think that's a very important situation, right, in terms of focus, because a lot of developers that come to us, you know, they come with this idea, oh, I need to learn everything, or I'm not able to learn everything. So many things going on in the development world, right? And it's funny that you get letters that were written like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and people saying that, oh, you know, there's so much information in the world that no one's going to be able to keep up, and that's like 100 years ago, right? And so, you know, so this whole problem that we think we have, oh, it's so much things, you know, so much different information, so much thing for me to learn. That has always been a problem, right? Because, you know, we don't. There's so many things to do in the world, right? There's so many ever have, right? And so it's not, oh, because you're a developer now, you're in this field that's so many things. It's like this, right? If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you are a lawyer, now if you are, you know, anything that you're doing today is, I mean, so many information, and this always has been true, right? You know, you get what Leonardo da Vinci did, right? I mean, he studied absolutely everything, and that was a huge amount of information for anyone on that time and today, right? I mean, you know, if you want to study everything that guy studied, it's, you know, it's much more than we are studying as a developer. So, you know, so it's not that we have so much information that we are unable to work with. The biggest problem that we have is that, you know, we don't have a focus. We don't focus on something that has importance, right? So, you know, you get Leonardo da Vinci, for example, when he was going to paint you know, he was going to do a painting. He studied everything, right? He studied, you know, how to do the colors, how to do, you know, all the biology of the human body, and he studied everything to do the painting, right? He had a focus, right? And so, and you know, that's the thing that you have to understand. What is the thing that you want to focus on? And a lot of times when I say to people, oh, what is the thing that you want to focus on? People say, oh, but if I only focus on Java, I'm not going to learn other things. And who said that your focus should be Java, right? Or Java EE or something like this. I mean, those things are at the same time, they're very large and very small, right? So, your focus, if you just focus on Java, that's very small because there's other things you should be looking at. But also, if you just focus on Java, Java is too big, right? There's server-side Java, there's desktop Java, there is mobile Java, there is scientific Java, there's big data. I mean, there's so many Javas in it, right? So what is the thing that you want to do, right? What is the thing that you want to be known for? What is the thing that you want to do the rest of your life, right? Because if you anything that's worth focusing, you're going to do for 10, 15, 20 years, right? So if you think back, should I focus on a programming language? Well, is any programming language going to be around for the next 10 or 15 or 20 years? Maybe not, right? So maybe what you should be focused on is what is you really want to do, right? It doesn't matter what language it is. It doesn't matter how the technology changes. It doesn't matter how your life changes. It doesn't matter what happens. What is the thing that you really want to be focused on? And so once you have that, once you understand what is it you need to focus on, it's a lot easier for you to find a brand or for you to find what you want to talk about, right? So can I do a little exercise here?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, an exercise that was taught to me by a good friend of mine, Rodrigo Moutinho, and I think he's on the call there somewhere. But I want you to do this because I thought it was very interesting, right? So right now, where you are, right? Look around you, right, and count the things that are red. Just look around you. I can see a few pillows, so you'll count things that are red around you, right? I see there's a little box right there that's red. There's a button here on the screen that's red. There's a chat right there. So look around you and count how many things are red, right? Are you doing this? Look around you. Counts things that are red, right? Yeah. There's a book cover right there. There's lots of red things, right? Mm-hmm. So you're looking at lots of red things here, Yolande?
Yes.
So now you please type on the chat, and you type on the chat too, Yolande. Type on the chat, how many green things did you see? How many green things did you see? No, don't look at how many green things you did.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Right? Why?
Because I wasn't looking at it.
You weren't looking at it. Now look around you. Now that you didn't find any green things, look around you and see how many green things you miss it.
Right.
Look around. See how many green things you miss. And there's a big picture right here in front of us. There's green on your sign right there. There's green on the sofa right here in front of us, right? I mean, there's all kinds of green things. There's a green button right here in your computer. There's another green button right here in your computer. There's a lot of there's green things right by the red things because right in the middle of the red thing that you saw right there, there's a green thing.
Right.
Right?
Yes, it was right next to each other.
It was right next to each other, and you did not see it.
No.
Right? And the reason why you did not see it is because you're not focused on it. Right? And the truth is, it's not there's so many information around you that you don't know what to do with it. Your brain, your brain is not able to handle every single signal that comes to in. All the sounds, all the smells, all the touch sensation that you have, all the visual things that you see. Your brain cannot cope with all of these. So what your brain does, it filters out, right? Your brain. So right now, you're not feeling the pressure of your butt on your chair. You're not feeling this. But now that I said it, you immediately feel it, right? So your brain only sees and feels the things that you focus on. If you don't focus on, your brain ignores it. So now apply this to your life. Apply this to your career. If you don't have a focus, if all you want to do is learn everything that has to learn about Java, everything that has to learn about software development, your brain filters out everything because there's nothing that you focus on, right? Now, if you find your focus on your life, if you find the one thing that you want to be good at, if you find the one thing that you're going to be known for, what's going to happen if you're focused? Your brain's going to be it's like when you're looking for red things. Your brain's going to be open and focused and keep looking for those things that you're interested in. So immediately, once you find your focus, you start seeing new articles, you start finding new people, you start seeing new tweets that you never noticed before, right? You start seeing new events near you. You start listening to people around you talking to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you are in the plane and, you know, someone near you talk about that thing and you got interested because that's your focus, right? I mean, there's so many things happening around us every day. And a lot of people say, oh, that was just coincidence. You know, oh, by coincidence, I found the right person at the right time. And it's not coincidence. It's your, you know, you're focused on it. Mm-hmm. And because you're focused on it, you're paying attention to it. So one little word that the person said, right? You know, maybe you're talking to someone and that someone mentions, oh, you know, because I was you know, doing some agent thing the other day and you know, just keep talking about something else, talking about cooking, and said, oh, that would be so cool if we had an agent to do that. And you're like, oh, you know what? I think you're interested in artificial intelligence, right? Isn't that you just said agent because of, oh, yes, it is. So you're talking about something else and you hear one word and you focus immediately on it, right? So now you match someone in the restaurant that is like, you know, a master of artificial intelligence person that you would never meet if you're not focused on artificial intelligence, because you never make the connection right there, right? So having a focus, it's so amazingly important, right? It's so amazingly important that will completely change your career. So that's one thing you got to do right now, right? You got to find your focus, because once you find your focus, once you find the thing that you want to do, everything else is going to just start falling in place. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So,
it really does.
So now, you know, what has this to do with your brand?
Well, everything. Because so if you are focused and you explain what your focus is, mm-hmm. right? So then people come to you. So it's not even like you talked about, like seeing more opportunities, mm-hmm. which is one way of doing it.
That's one way of doing it,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you should do that. But also what happens is people come to you for that thing, right? And on Twitter, for example, believe me, people will say, oh, I want to know what this expert on AI is doing, mm-hmm. right? Or on Java. Oh, he's building web application, this type of technology, right? And so they will flock to you. And the more you do that, and then you start sharing pieces of content that are related to that topic, mm-hmm. right? You put like a little bit of a comment about it, your own opinion, or like how is it helpful to you? And suddenly your content performs very well, because people, again, other people will have a similar focus, and even if they don't have a focus, the same focus, they will be interested, because they will say, well, maybe at some point I will need to know about this information, mm-hmm. and they will be able to identify you as the source of that type of information. And this is extremely important, because online, what do we do? What do we all do online? Right? Mm-hmm. We say, we Google it.
Right, Google it, right, yes.
Right? But what do we really do? It's like we have a question, mm-hmm. and we say, well, we just type the question, mm-hmm. and we want an answer, right? That's how we search.
Right.
And so if people are going to search for exactly the topics that you are an expert in, and they'll find you. And they'll see, because we have like so much content out there as well. Right? It's again, like if you don't have focus, you can spend days, right, on Twitter looking at things. I mean, videos and cats jumping around, and I mean, anything, right?
Right.
And everything can be interesting. So you also need to make sure that your time is also focused on what you really want to do, right? Mm-hmm. And eventually, you can also, once you have done a focus, you can also switch to a different focus, right?
Right, yeah. Or you can expand, right?
Right, you can expand.
Yes.
But if you start with one,
mm-hmm.
I mean, at least you get this particular topic taken care of,
mm-hmm.
and then you can also like track it more on the side, right?
Right.
But having a focus to start with, extremely important, and extremely important for your brand. So we often talk about the profile.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show. So one thing that we, so for example,
so you want to
yes.
share the screen first,
right?
So that's what you do. So come here, yeah, change screen share. Yes, just choose your application window and entire screen.
Application window.
Okay, right, cool. Right, so wait, just cancel here.
Cancel.
Just do just drag this window out of there. Yes,
Which one? This
that
one?
Yes, just drag it out of there.
Oh.
Yes, okay, good. Now share the application.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Which one?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yes, share that window. Okay. Yes, so then we don't have the that zooming effect.
I see.
That's you're
cool.
sharing the video, right? Okay, cool.
Right. So
right,
this
so yeah, you can click. No, don't click there. What are you doing?
Oh my God. What
yes.
did I do?
No, just click here, not there.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So pull this window up. Yes, and I'll take a look at the chat. So by the way, Trevor is saying really cool, and Trevor did say they're using the cloud to distribute my Java application, right? So Trevor, while Yolanda is preparing her thing here, yes, Trevor, if that's one of the things you want to focus on, using the cloud to distribute Java application, we can talk a little bit more about that. But yes, that is a great thing, right? Notice that when you try to focus on something like this, using the cloud to distribute Java applications, it's not about, oh, I just want to talk about cloud, I want to talk about Java. No, you're actually having a very cool focus that is distributing Java applications on the cloud. I mean, that is a great focus. It's very wide. You can talk about lots of different things, different technologies, but at the same time, it's very specific. If someone have a problem with distributing Java applications in the cloud, they can come to you, right? So that's the kind of thing you're looking for.
Right. So for the Java Twitter website is pretty straightforward because it's the source of news and Java. But we also, so Bruno and I actually worked on this also. So this is my profile here, and I say because I'm a community person, right? I could say, oh, I'm just a community manager for Oracle. What would that say? Not much, right?
Yes, right. Yes.
I mean, I could be doing tons of things, answering questions on forums, or who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I'm going a step further. I say, well, I'm empowering developers globally to successfully grow their projects and their businesses, right? So if people come to me, even on Twitter, then they can expect me to actually look at what they're doing and try to help.
Right.
Right.
And notice that, you're empowering developers globally to grow their project and business, right? So you're not helping developers to learn Java.
Right.
Right. You're not helping, and this is a very specific problem that people have, right? Every developer, they want to grow their project. They want to grow the business. They're either developers working on some kind of project, or they're building their own company, right? Mm-hmm. So you're actually helping them solve a problem that they have.
Right, and it's really connecting or anything that or promoting them, right?
Right.
And so this is your profile.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing. You have a very descriptive profile. That says a lot about the keywords in here: improving their careers, work on cool project with great people, right? So great teams and how.
So Rodrigo is saying that he's not seen. So can you go back to the screen right there? It still got stuck. So unshare, yes. Unshare,
share.
Maybe share again. Maybe have to click. Oh, because you open a new window. Yes, don't open a new window. Just choose one window and then do the whole thing again. Unfortunately, yes, click there. Yes, share. Yeah. So you open another window. So just
because it's a different browser.
Yes. Oh, this is okay. So now you're showing. So yes.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay. So now show again your show again your profile. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Click here just to see if that's showing now.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's showing. Okay. Good.
Cool.
All right.
Right. Okay. So we are talking really about this profile here.
Yes. Right. So
the profile description.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I was going right to yours.
Yes. Okay. So come back to your profile. So you see here that Yolanda, she doesn't talk about herself, right? That's a big problem that people do when they're building their brands, or when they're going on Twitter and they're trying to. They love to talk about themselves, right? So they talk, oh, I'm a developer. I work for that company. I'm a father. I did this. I did that. So it's all about you. And you know what, Yolanda? No one cares about you.
No.
No one cares about you. People don't care about us, man. So people care about how we can help them. So when Yolanda presents herself as, empowering developers to successfully grow their projects, now people are like, whoa, I'm a developer. I want to be empowered. I want to grow my project. That's interesting. I'm gonna follow Yolanda. Right. Right. Yes. And that's why she has 2,500 followers. Right.
2004. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, 2,500.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the same with you, right?
Right.
I mean, you talk about, you don't talk about like how wonderful you are, a Java champion. You could, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have all those credentials. I mean, you've been a JCP member, and you've been involved with Java for how many years? Well, since the beginning,
yes,
right?
Since 1995.
So, right?
that I do say.
Okay. But still, right? It's not about you. It's like, how are you going to help Java developers?
Right, exactly.
Improve their career and work on cool projects and great teams. Right?
Yeah. So who here wants to work on cool projects and great teams? Right. If you want to work on cool projects and great teams, you say yes on the chat. Right.
Really cool, Trevor.
Yes. Yes. Because and that's what we want, right? We developers, we want to work with group projects. We want to work with great teams. We want to work with great developers, because once we work on great projects, great developers, we become better developers, right? So Bas Bank say me, yes, cool, right? So if you want to do this, that's the thing I can help you with, right? So you see that the profile gets a lot better. There's more interesting for people, right?
Right, and people want to follow you because then they know why they should follow you, right? So. The next thing that I see a lot is, for example, so I look at so much content. It's very funny. At the end of the day, I can spot just in one tweet. I can actually tell who this is or what the style of the person almost. And so, for example, I see tweets like, I just wrote a blog and I'm sharing it. So, and I'm thinking, okay, great. I mean, I can see you have a blog. I see the name of the blog, right? So it tells me nothing about the content of the blog. Even the title, well, the title is great, but it has very limited information. Now, if you were to tweet about your blog and you tell me, well, I had this problem and I couldn't find really a good solution, and so in this blog, I'm trying to solve X, give you information about how I solve this problem. Then immediately you will see people sharing that content because it's useful. It may be useful for them. It may also be useful for them in the future, so they'll bookmark it. It may be also useful for their network because they have other people that they would be glad to share content with because they want to help them. Right? So immediately when you start thinking about like how you can help others, it works so much better. So for example, so the blog is something that I see a lot and I think is really easy to fix. But okay, so for example here, so on my profile, let me check if, yeah.
Yes.
So I created, so I was actually frustrated to see that we always talk about women in technology and so forth, but there is never like really action items, and we don't have a lot of Java speakers, for example, in the community. And so I was on March 8th, I'm like, I'm just frustrated, so I'm just going to do something about it, right? So I started creating this list of women speakers, and some of those women are not even just like pure Java speakers, and that's why I didn't do it with the Java handle, but everybody I could find, and I asked people, it's like, give me a suggestion, right? Because I want to have plenty of people who are speaking today and can really speak at conferences, because I know that in the community, people are looking for speakers, right? So just as an example, I took the opportunity of March 8th and I shared this Twitter list with all the women who are active in the community, and also gave action items to people. I said, well, if we really want to make change, my message here is we need to also take actions, right? Share someone that you know in the community that I can add to this playlist, right? I mean, subscribe to it or retweet it. And I got from, so I was at 215. I mean, I'm closer to now to 250. I'll do that again, right? So this was just one tweet. A tweet's life in general is about half an hour. If you're lucky and it gets a lot of traction, if you have 100 retweet in an hour, then it's going to be doing a lot better, right? It's maybe has an hour of life online. Right. So, so you know, the result was not bad at all. And also another thing that I do is because we always online, we see tweets actually on the phone. So if you want to be nice to your audience, you make sure that's easy to read, right? So don't pack all the content in all the sentence together. You know, create spaces, add breaks. I mean breaks, and the links should be also separated from the rest. So you know, so you don't just look at the hashtags and not see the link, for example. You know, like try to be nice to your audience. It's like all the steps that you take, right? And to make it easier for other people to use your content.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that, you know, when you say try to be nice to your audience, you know, basically, think about it. Your audience is the important people, right? You know, those are the people that you're doing all this work. Think about it. You know, you're doing all this work. You're sharing. You're writing articles. Why you're doing this, right? You're doing this because you want to waste your time and just throw information out to everyone, right? You know, you don't want to be, you know, you just want to give what you have to everyone. No, you're doing this because you want to help people, right? That's why you take the time. That's why you do what you're doing, because you want to help people become better, right? And so if you want to help them to become better, you are interested in them, right? So everything you talk about, everything you say, everything you show, you have to focus on what they want, what they need, right? So be nice to your audience, like, you know, be those are the people you want to help, right? So if you're gonna make it, no, you're gonna write badly. If you're gonna put ugly pictures, you're gonna, you know, if you're not gonna be careful of how the content look, if you're not gonna do any of that, you're not helping anyone, right? Because those people are not gonna be happy in getting that information. So if you want to help people, you have to be careful and you have to look at what they want, right? You gotta, for help them, you have to really help them understand, you know, make things clear, make things easy on the eyes, right? So when you look at something, you feel, oh, you want to keep reading because it's nice, right? You know, if you get like you know, you go to a web page that has blinking text and you know, black words on a black background, and you know, and things are written in a bad English, and you don't understand the phrases, how can you be helped by something that's like this? You know, you take more effort to actually understand what's going on than to actually get the help you need. So that's the thing. A lot of people, you know, you might think, oh, Bruno, it doesn't exist blinking text anymore on the internet. But a lot of people do worse. They think they're doing nice things. They think they're doing beautiful things, but but they start the sentence being me. Oh, I'm such a great guy. You know, I know how to do it and you don't, right? You know, that's the same thing. You know, you're actually making it harder for the person to learn.
Right, absolutely. And it goes even deeper than, one step deeper is also when you care for your audience and you do the right thing, it shows your brand. Because the brand is what, at the end of the day? It's not who you are. I mean, we have 12 million Java developers. So if you say, I'm a Java developer, we said, okay, so are like 12 million others, right?
Yes.
You're doing web development. Well, great, right? Yes. It's also millions of people.
Right.
But if you
show... Oh, I'm a father.
Right.
That's
half the population.
Right. Well, not half, but
almost,
I'm almost, right, yes.
45%.
Right, yes.
But then so the brand is really is not just the what, is really the how. And this is really important to understand, is when you understand your style, your voice, right? And you know how to communicate that. This is who you are. Deeply, this is your core. We talk about core values, for example, right? But and it shows that you're authentic. So all of that is really what brand is. So even in little things, it shows who you are. So you're not telling them, oh, I'm a great person. I can work with community. I'm great at community. I could be saying that, you know, hey, I'm super great at community. yet I never help anybody, right?
Right. Yes.
I mean, if you have a question, I just send you a link and that's done. Right? Or could say also, well, I care about women. Well, I don't do anything for them, right? Until, well, I don't know. I just ignore them because they're not that many, right?
Right.
So that's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference is really taking action and showing that you care in a deeply. And that's a little bit what this tweet is about, right? It's really to tell all those women, well, maybe we should be doing something about it, right? And not just wait for corporations, for events to integrate us, or to let's take action and actually change the system, right?
Right.
And that's a totally different message. Yet I didn't write that at all, right? I didn't say let's take action or that I cared. Yet it takes time actually to build that Twitter list.
Right.
Tell you
because that's another thing, right? A lot of people love to say things, right? You know what? For example, one thing that's very common. How many people create their blogs, and then they write a blog post saying, "Oh, that's my new blog, and on this blog I'm gonna write things."
Right.
I mean, seriously? Are you gonna write things on this blog?
I hope.
I hope, right? So instead of you talking about things, right? You saying, or you telling other people what they should do, go do it yourself, right? So instead of saying that you're gonna write blog posts, write a blog post, right? And they'll say, oh, that's gonna be great. I will write here about Java. So write about Java. If you write about Java, people know that you write about Java, right? So and that's the same thing. Instead of you saying, "Hey, girls, let's get together and let's do something to improve the situation of women in technology." Yeah, you can yell this all day long, and it doesn't not going to change a single thing. But if you go and you do it, right? Go do something that empowers women. Go do something that solves a problem. Go do something, and then that you become someone that does that.
Right.
And you know what? We have this thing in our brains called cognitive dissonance, right? We are unable to do things that it's not who we are. Our brain gets really upset when we do things that are not who we are. So, if you are someone that help others, your brain will want you to help others, right? If you are someone that writes a blog post every week, when it gets Sunday night and you didn't write a blog post this week, you're gonna be upset. So you're gonna go and you're gonna write the blog post because you are someone that writes blog posts every week, right? So that's what we have to do. We have to do the action. A lot of people think that they have to first decide that they're gonna change, and then do the action so they can change. That's not how it works. No. Your brain doesn't change because you want it to change. Your brain does the things that you already do. So if you go and you do things, right? You do to help people. You do write blog posts. You do write good code. Once you do this, your brain says, hey, I'm a person that writes good code. So I'm going to keep writing good code, right? And so that's the thing we got to do all the time.
Right. It makes me think of all this literature about habits, right?
Right.
So you build habits that you think that you do over time, and it becomes natural, like driving a car. I mean, anything that you do, then you're a driver.
Right. Yes.
So that's the same thing. But if you say I'm going to drive, but never try to drive, then you won't be a driver.
Exactly. That's cool. So now I think we're into a tangent here, and it's all, but this all has to do with brand, right? Because the same thing. The brand is not who you want to be.
Right.
The brand is who you are and how people see you.
Yes.
Right. And so but every time we talk about brand and how people see me, isn't this just like a marketing corporate kind of thing? I mean, like Coca-Cola has a brand, but I don't. Or
right. So personal branding and corporate branding is entirely fabricated. Although, if you write good brand, even for a corporation, they actually need to be genuine brands, right?
Right.
Because otherwise, you don't believe them.
Right. Yes. Yes.
I mean, people are not going to connect to it. So it's similar, right? But personal brands, first of all, it's more, to me, it's more like how you do things. And it's
let's unshare this so people
okay,
see
yeah.
it.
So it's more, so your style, it's something that you should be comfortable with, right? It needs to be like part of what you do, part of your core values, making sure that you're not stretching yourself. Don't try to become somebody else. That's the key, right? Because you see other people who are very successful, and we all have this tendency of just saying, well, I want to be like them. I want to be successful like them. So yes, you need to look at what they do, but you cannot just duplicate that, because it's not going to work.
Right.
And so the brand is also, it's everything that you do. It's the vocabulary that you use. It's your formatting. It's I mean, I can look at somebody's Twitter account and immediately say, well, this person is very active in the community. This person has good content. I mean, I can really learn so much from tweets that are now like less than 300 words. And it's really amazing. So what you need to do, in part, to discover who you are, is start reading other people's content differently. Because what we do is we read for content, right? We say, this topic, oh, I like this topic, I'm going to read this. So start reading the anything you read for the format, what you like about it. So a good example is that is maybe more obvious is humor, right? So you see things that works and things that you think that are funny and others that you don't, right? So if you start analyzing like how those are also, what's the topic, how are they phrased, right? Because in humor you need to be it needs to be surprising, but also funny, right? So there is the funny storytelling aspect of it. And if you decompose that and you see a little bit the pattern of how those are, of what you like, it's going to change the way you write, right? And I mean, some people have like very styles because they're good writer, they figure it out at an early age, and so they just do it, right? But most of us, and we change, right? We're not always kids either, right? And for certain tweets, I'll tell you, I mean, sometimes I rewrite the content 5 times. If it's really important to me, I rewrite it, because the first time I just describe what it is. The second time, I'm going to be more, thinking about my audience and say, but I didn't say this, right? That will be also important for my audience. The third time, I'm going to refine it, right? Because you don't want to be too long. You don't want to be like confusing, right? So clarity comes, and then I rewrite it probably 3 times for just clarity, removing a lot of words, making, especially, and that's why I like Twitter, because even if they increased the number of characters, you should actually not use the 280 characters. But if you can summarize it in 1 sentence, remove all your fear, like when you say, well, I'm just writing this blog. What does it mean? I see you have a blog, right? I mean, so it sounds humbling, but it also sounds like the person is not very secure, right? Or doesn't know what to tell about that blog. Or, a blog is a lot of work, right? I mean, this person probably thought first about like which topic they're going to talk about, how to structure it. They probably rewrote it maybe 2 or 3 times, right? And so they thought about the code, about a good example, check the code, had maybe a friend check for the code. So there's a lot of work that went into it. Then show that as well, right? Care about your content. Take the time. So this is a thing that we've learned in school, is to write once and write perfectly, right? Because we sat in a room, we had an exam, right?
Right, yes.
And it needs to look perfect. It's not the way you should write. you should actually write and rewrite and scratch it and make it better. And if you do that, if you rewrite your content at least 5 times, you will see that it's much better, and then you will actually understand like how your writing style is and how you bring value to your users, and all of that. And believe me, I've done it so many times, and I've been doing social media for years, and I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and so Yolande, we're almost at the top. I mean, we are at the top of the hour now, and we said we're going to be 1 hour, so we start a little bit late, so we have about 10 minutes to wrap this thing up. And so if you still have any questions, that's the good moment for us to send us here, because we still have a few minutes to talk about here. But I just want to make sure that everyone that stayed all the way to 1 hour, can hear a little bit more. And so, if you want to do a freelance project, if you want to do, if you're starting your company and you want to launch your company, you want to launch your startup, or if you already have a startup and you want to be better, right? Yolande is a master of branding, right? And so one of the things that I twisted her arm yesterday is that I said, Yolande, you really should actually, because it's one thing to have a conversation like here, like Yolande, but it's another thing to actually go deep with people, right? So if you want to actually have a great brand, right? Yolande's gonna help you, right? She's gonna help you have a great brand. So we're gonna, we're gonna put up here a way for, because Yolande's gonna give you a great gift, right? She's gonna, she set some time on the next couple of weeks. Is that right?
Yes.
So you set some time in the next couple of weeks. So and she's now going to give you a gift. So pay attention to this. Really, really important. So Yolande, what is it you're going to do in the next few weeks?
So I'm offering one session, 1 hour session, to just talk about your brand, right? And going through like the challenges, like seeing what we can.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
What we can do together, and give you solutions for your brand.
Cool. So you're actually going to go. So Yolande's actually going to go and spend 45 minutes, 1 hour with you, right? Understanding your brands, and then you're gonna help them understand where they are,
right? And
prepare their brands and make a plan for the future.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very cool. That's amazing. Can I sign up? So how do you get that? How do you get that gift, right? It's very important. So right now on your screen, you should see a little pop-up, right? That I lost connection with the guy who was helping me out here, but I think you should see on your screen right now a little pop-up that has the a button that you can click the button, and you're gonna get to Yolande's calendar, right? And then you can schedule a time. Yes, so you should be seeing, right? So Yolande's kind of giving this brand awareness conversation. That's amazing. And I can tell you one thing. Yolande has sat with me in the past, right, for me to create my brand. So she went on, she changed completely my Twitter account, right? I became one of the very few people from the Java world that's been a verified Twitter because of her help she gave me. My tweet grew a lot because she went with me and she fixed my Twitter account, she fixed my pictures, she fixed my profile, right? So she's gonna do that to you, right? So but it's a one-time thing, right? We have no idea when she's gonna do that again.
Yeah.
So what you have to do right now is go to. I think it should show up on this side or maybe on this side. I don't know which side it shows up. A little pop-up that has your Yolande picture on it, and you can click the button, and you're gonna get to Yolande's calendar, right? And then you can schedule the time that you can. It's synced through her calendar, so it's a time that she can already, right? A time that you can, she can, and get this done with, right?
Yes. Yes. So I really think that the brand will actually help you no matter what you try to do in your life. because this is like just the simple fact of I've seen people feel better about themselves, right? And yeah, and they communicate better. And just that, I mean, suddenly they're better people. I mean, it's easier to be around them.
Right. Now, one thing that we talk about a lot here, Yolanda, is about being a freelance, right?
Yep.
And why brands it's important for a freelance. Well, isn't a freelance just someone that goes online and gets a job and do it and no one even know who that guy is? Isn't this a freelance? No.
Well, I mean, you want to be paid, right?
Right. Yes.
Freelance. So yeah, so you have to sell yourself, right?
Right. Yes.
And that's part of the selling, right? It's like you have to have a brand to sell yourself.
Right.
Otherwise, people won't. If you say, if I tell you, well, I can do your gardening, you're just going to look at me and say, well, are you doing gardening today? Right? No, I'm not. So, so it's all this communication about what you can offer to people.
Yeah, because if you want to be a freelancer and you go online, one of those websites where you just put some job and they're gonna pay you like peanuts per hour of work. Right. That's not freelancing, man. That's kind of slaving work, right? So what you should do is, and you want to be a great freelancer, you should be the guy that people call you. Hey, Trevor, I really need you, and really need your expertise in artificial intelligence, man. Can you really help me out? It's like, do you have time next week? Please, please, please. That's what you want, right? You want people to calling you and saying, they really need your service. That's like, you can charge more, you can do more interesting work. It's not like you're just gonna get this little piece work. You're gonna get really real business, right?
Right.
So how about someone that's an entrepreneur and wants to build his own startup, his own company?
Well, I mean, you can recruit customers because you will have to build your own brand as a CEO, but also the brand of your company, right? Or the service that you're providing. And if you have something, that makes sense to people, then they will come and want to buy your services. So all the brand is, some people will call it messaging, or, it's really bringing clarity to everything that you say and do. That's pretty much what people want to know is, how can you help me?
Right. And so if you're now that you understand how branding is important and you don't have a lot of clarity on how your brand could work, what kind of brand you have, I do suggest that you right now you click on just your Lands offer, because we're not even gonna have this. I'm not even sure we're gonna have this conversation here recorded, because I'm not sure if your Land's gonna have time to actually do this again. So right now you're here, you're watching us. Don't miss the opportunity to click and schedule your conversation with her right now. Right. That is maybe a one-time thing, and who knows when that's going to happen again.
Oh yeah, I have a full-time job, so this is a one-time thing. This is not like something that I'm going to do every day.
Okay, cool. All right, so I don't see any questions here, and we're right at the top of the hour. And but I still have some questions, about branding. And so I want to have clarity on my brand. Let's say that I haven't done anything online yet. I haven't done, I haven't really thought, no one knows about me. But I do have, let's say I do have a focus, right? Is that like the fact that no one knows me, that no one have never done anything online? Is that a reason for me to not have a brand? Or
no, you already have a brand.
Oh, I already have a brand. What's that brand?
Your brand is that you're not online.
Oh, that's my brand.
That's your brand.
Oh, so I always have a brand.
Yes, you always have a brand.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what I do?
Yes, you have a brand. You have a brand of someone who is not online. And so when a manager wants to hire you, he will search you and he'll see, oh, this person is not on Twitter. This person is not on LinkedIn. What does it tell me? Well, it tells me maybe this person is shy, doesn't have a network, cannot work with socialize the right way. I mean, whatever that person is going to think. But then that's the point, is that you are actually not in control of what people see and how you communicate if you don't make the effort to explain what you are about.
All right.
Right?
So I mean, it doesn't matter what we do. We already have a brand.
You already have a brand.
So the whole thing is that's why you call it the brand awareness program.
Yes.
Because we have to be aware what brand we already
Right.
have.
Yes.
And once we understand that my brand is a weak brand,
Yeah.
and that's probably hurting me,
Mm-hmm.
then I can change it. But can I
Yes.
change it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can change it. Yes. I mean, you can definitely. I mean, it's how communicate first the focus, communicate like who you really are. That's what the brand is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So no, you don't want to be in that position of having a weak brand that's actually so the whole thing is you're gonna be in control of your brand. So you're gonna actually project your brand so people are gonna see you the way you want to be seen.
Right. Yes.
So how do you want to be seen?
Yep.
Right. So type on the chat if you want. So how do you want to be seen?
I mean, do you want to be seen as a professional, as an expert in a topic, as an entrepreneur? How do you communicate that? I mean, so that's what we are talking about here.
Right. So how do you want to be seen? Right. You want to be seen as someone competent. You want to be seen as someone that do things. You want to be seen as someone that's actually involved and help other people. How do you want to be seen?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. So no matter how you want to be seen, Yolande can help you. She's helping me personally. That's why I have like 9,000 people following me on Twitter. And I'm a very successful entrepreneur, and a lot of this has to do with how people see what I do. She has helped a lot of Java champions and people from the open source community. She has helped a lot of women to kind of position their brands online. She has helped a lot of people that I know personally on improving their Twitter, the Twitter account and the Twitter presence. So, if you want to do this, take this amazing and unique opportunities. The last time you're going to see this, because we're past 1 hour here, and we are about to end this. So, if you haven't clicked the button yet, click the button before we finish this, because it's going to be gone, right? And so Yolande, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
This message that you gave here, and so Gabrielle is saying, I have a lot to think about. Thanks for this opportunity, Bruno and Yolande. Thanks, Gabrielle.
Yeah,
you're gonna do even more than that when you have some time with Yolande to talk about your brands. That's gonna be amazing, right? So thank you everyone for watching us and participating here. And Yolande, thank you for opening our eyes, right? Even me, I've been working with you for some time, and I do have a good presence online and everything. I never thought about that. Actually, I have a brand that depending on how I do, I can damage it, or I can, even if I'm not doing anything online, I have a brand.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. You always have a brand. So
that means, for example, in place that I'm not, right? I'm not on LinkedIn.
Right.
So I have a brand of not being on LinkedIn.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's so I'm just kind of realizing that the things that I'm not doing are also part of my brand.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's very, very much eye-opening, Yolande. Thanks very much. So now I have a brand that I did open my eyes, right? Because Yolande just opened my eyes. I gotta work on this. Excellent. So Mark Manick is saying, thanks, Bruno, Yolande. Those were some fine advice. Thanks a lot, Manick. Anything else you want to say before we close down?
So I would say one thing is that if you don't have a brand and you want to start with Twitter, because it's shorter. It's there is a huge community. There are tons of content, and you don't need to just write a lot. Mm-hmm. You can also share content from others. You can retweet with comments, so you can put your opinion on things that you haven't written. So I really recommend using Twitter for that.
Okay, very, very cool. So thanks everyone. And I'm in the middle of the tour around the U.S. So this next few weeks, then this next week, I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be in Chicago, and then on Tuesday I'm going to be in Milwaukee, and then on Wednesday I'm going to be back in Chicago, and then on Thursday I'm going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, and Friday I'm going to fly into Houston, Texas, where I'm going to do a whole day seminar on Saturday, right? And then on Monday, I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas, right? Before I go back to Brazil. So if you are near any of those cities, ping me. Let's find a way to meet, because I want to help you out with your things too. And not only that, if you follow me on my YouTube channel, every day I'm publishing a little video about your career, and the videos are already published since I started this trip. A lot of people have been thanking me and sending me emails about how that little tip changed the way they're thinking. So if you haven't seen those yet, please go to my YouTube account, BR Javaman on YouTube. Go there, and you're gonna see several very cool tips. All right.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say is that you really want to connect with Bruno, because he is fantastic. So first of all, he has tons of experience. He's been around Java and developers all his career. I mean, I don't want to say, no, you say it actually. It's
I do say yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do say that.
But and he's like absolutely wonderful, because he will really help you in any way you can. So having a conversation with Bruno is fantastic. And I was actually hoping that you would offer a free consultation, but I guess not.
Well, not today. I want you guys to go to your land. So let me promise this, right? Okay. I will record another webinar this week, right? Sometime, not sure exactly when. And on that webinar, I'm gonna help you on your career, right? So that's today we're focused on your land here. Okay. Right.
But follow is everything that he does, because he's really fantastic. And believe me, I know a lot of developers, but Bruno is really on top. So if you need like anything, if you need to understand the developer audience, how to boost your career, I mean, whatever it is, really, Bruno is the person to know and connect with. I mean, this is like 100%. There is nobody else like you. So, I mean, I really appreciate. But it's true. It's really true. So, okay, I'm done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Rodrigo just published on the chat the playlist for the Java User Groups Tour USA. Thank you, Manuel, for being here with us. Yeah, we're gonna keep up with the webinars. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks very, very much for taking some time off your Sunday, and apologies for being on Sunday. But next week we're gonna do it on Saturday, right? So Saturday's a little bit easier, right? So thanks very much. It was great to have you all here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.